Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. So I just watched an upload from Spencer from River Sports about Odell Beckham Jr. reportedly in a video with some cocaine and some marijuana. And I actually made a video a few weeks ago saying that, you know what, if the Giants don't want Odell, as a Panthers fan, I'd be happy to have him. Well, I retract my statement on that. And this has nothing to do with Odell Beckham Jr. As a person or as a football player. But I completely understand where Spencer's coming from with this. These guys, they think that they're above the organizations they play for. They're more interested in their, Instagram and Twitter followings than they are their football team. I mean, listen, it was entertaining, right? The guy goes out, proposes to a kicking net, and then gets whacked in the head by it, which was hilarious, by the way. Has a horrible injury. Then you had before that, you had the infamous, boat trip before the playoff game, which he was unapologetic for. And this is something that's not only an Odell Beckham Jr. problem. This is going on throughout the NFL and throughout professional sports. Is that these guys become extremely rich and extremely famous at a very young age in the NFL, and they think that their value to the team because of their playing ability trumps everything else. And that's just not the case. You can go through the history of the NFL and find numerous situations where there are people like Odell Beckham Jr. who don't end up panning out. They aren't let go because they are such a great talent, and it ends up coming to bite the team in the ass in the end. If it doesn't end up coming to bite them, at the very least, it holds them back from reaching their true potential. And we're talking about a guy who wants a shitload of money. Odell Beckham Jr. is coming towards the end of his contract in a year, and is going to be demanding probably to be the highest paid wide receiver in the league, right? Well, if you want to be the highest paid receiver in the league because you made one amazing catch on Monday Night Football 2 years ago, then you better act like it. These guys need to get something through their head. Playing in the NFL and being paid millions of dollars to do so is not a right of yours. It's a privilege. It's time for this crap to not be condoned. You can't get a job in the private sector anywhere in this country and act that way and be rewarded for it. And it's happening more and more. It's not just Odell. I don't want to pin this all on him. I don't care how old he is, 24, 25 years old. Listen, we all did stupid shit when we were 25 years old. I did. I know I did. But I wasn't being paid $10 million or whatever to be a face of a company. Okay? So I retract my statement about Odell. I made the statement that, since we just seem to be giving our GMs and coaches to the New York Giants, hell, we might as well just go ahead and swap players, right? Well, we'll give you Jonathan Stewart. That's who you want. And we'll take Odell. Well, you know what? Jonathan Stewart was never caught on video, with some strippers eating pizza and doing some blow. So I'd rather have Jonathan Stewart than than Odell at this point. And we see this every year in the NFL. Young guys, and I don't fault these guys. Listen, they're human, okay? I'm not going to sit here and sit on my high horse and say that young guys with a bunch of money are immune to making bad decisions. But there does come a point when you've been given a lot of rope to deal with, a lot of leeway. If it doesn't sink in after a while, it's time to move on from the guy. And you know what? I really do. I want to be clear here that I wish Odell Beckham Jr., no matter what happens to him for the rest of his life, I wish him luck, both as a person and as a football player, because you know what? There is he's at a crossroads in his career and in his life, in his personal life, that he has to make a decision of what kind of man he's going to be, not what kind of football player he's going to be, but what kind of man are you going to be first? Are you going to be a man of your word? Are you going to be a man who is more focused on the greater good of your team, because you owe that to your teammates and your coaches? And I know I go on social media and say, Odell Beckham Jr., he's an individual. He has the right to his own personal freedom and liberty. That's great. Believe me, I completely agree that everybody has a right to be who they want to be. And nobody can take that away from them. But when you're part of an organization that caters to millions of people, by the way, millions of fans, plus all of your teammates, plus your owner, plus your coaches, and plus all of the people that helped you get to where you are, whether it be through high school or college, there has to be accountability for all these people that have stuck their neck out on the line for you. And if you can't respect that, then that's a you problem. It's not a Giants problem. It's not an NFL problem. It's a you problem. And talent does not outweigh accountability. Talent does not outweigh class, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, right? So, listen, I wish the best for him. Josh Gordon is a great example of this. So Josh Gordon had his problems, got, slapped on the wrist by the Browns for a couple of years. Continued to defy them because he had real problems. It took him going away and actually seriously dealing with his problems in a real way. Not just saying, oh, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. And to his credit, so far, Josh Gordon is the poster child for players like Odell Beckham and Johnny Manziel and countless other players over the years to come back in a real way, actually really get help, actually really have some self-discovery and come back and help their team. And you know what? I'm a huge Josh Gordon fan now. I loved watching him play football whenever he was, going through his problems, because he was a generational talent, like Odell was, or is. But he actually put his money where his mouth was, admitted to his problems, got real help, and seems to be genuine about his recovery and his intentions to become the consummate professional. And I have a lot of respect for people like Josh Gordon. People like Josh Gordon, unless he screws up again, which I really hope he doesn't, it's a great story for the NFL. Josh Gordon's a great story, and I really hope he does well. I really do. So anyway, listen. I do, as a Panthers fan, I don't want Odell. I'd rather have Josh Gordon. I hope Odell gets help. I hope he grows up. If I were a Giants fan, I wouldn't want him on my team. I hope he goes somewhere else where he can realize what he's doing to other people in on his team and in his life. It's not all about him. I mean, he'll die a rich man, but I hope he dies a rich man with some integrity. And some respect. So, have a great day. Pigskin Pete, check it out.